If I were Satan, I would master the art of fear, not the terror that makes you run, but the slow, insidious fear that keeps you frozen. I wouldn't need to be obvious. I'd start small, planting subtle doubts in your mind. As you go through your day, each time you think of taking a risk, trying something new, or reaching beyond your comfort zone, I'd be there with a whisper. Are you sure? What if you fail? What if it all falls apart? A quiet seed of doubt, growing into a forest that blinds you from seeing the path forward. My work would be done through whispers, through the silent but relentless nagging of what if. Every time you felt an urge to pursue a dream, I'd remind you of every moment you've stumbled in the past, every disappointment. I'd make you relive those feelings, amplifying your self-doubt until it felt like an unbreakable wall. My goal wouldn't be to make you turn back, but to keep you standing still, paralyzed by indecision as the world moves forward without you. I'd take special care in your relationships, using fear to turn what should be love and connection into mistrust. I'd have you question every compliment, every act of kindness, until they felt hollow, empty, undeserved. I'd make sure you're too afraid to be vulnerable, too fearful of being hurt or abandoned. And with each wall you build around yourself, my grip would tighten, because fear breeds isolation, and isolation breeds doubt. You'd slowly lose the very connections that could have lifted you, all because I convinced you to hide behind your fears. Then I'd turn to the fear of others' judgment. Each time you think about stepping into your authentic self, I'd flood your mind with voices, real or imagined, questioning, criticizing, judging. I'd make sure that every step feels like it's being watched, scrutinized, until the thought of taking a risk feels unbearable. The fear of failure would become a constant companion, so loud that the idea of success would feel like a distant fantasy, forever out of reach. And in the quiet moments, I'd ensure that peace is replaced by anxiety. When you close your eyes, trying to find stillness, I'd make your mind race with every possible disaster, every painful memory, every lingering regret. I'd make sure you're never alone with your thoughts without the weight of fear pressing down, keeping you awake, restless, bound by shadows that I created. Your future would look like a maze with no exit, each path clouded by worry, every step feeling like a step closer to disaster. For you see, fear doesn't need to be loud. It's effective precisely because it's quiet, whispering doubts that grow louder the more you listen. I would watch as you build the walls yourself, brick by brick, using your own insecurities, your own doubts, until you're trapped inside. The beauty of fear is that it takes so little effort on my part. A hint of self-doubt here, a reminder of rejection there, and soon you're questioning everything, unable to see the truth beyond the shadows I've cast. In time, fear would even rob you of joy. I'd make you so wary of happiness that each moment of pleasure, each fleeting instance of peace, would be met with a shadow. How long will this last? What if it's taken from you? Joy would feel like a trap, happiness a weakness, and love an illusion. I'd make sure that each time you tried to open your heart, you'd feel the sting of what might go wrong, until love itself feels dangerous. And so, in the end, I wouldn't need chains or locks. Your own mind would be the prison, bound by fears you can't quite name but can always feel. Each day that you give in, the walls grow taller, the doubts grow louder, and the light of hope grows dimmer. You'd become my prisoner, confined not by force, but by your own unspoken fears, keeping you from ever seeing the greatness you could have achieved, the freedom you could have known. The chains are invisible, but they are real, and as long as you fear them, they will hold you.